A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. A gain of 22. On this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
53, ready.
On first down, Stafford here. He completes it to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Watch the twitch. Switch. He's checking up.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, but it's going to be 2nd down.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Check 99. Check 99.
On on 2nd and 15 now. Trubisky going to let one flip, and that's caught inside the 35. That one good for 37 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now the Purdue man, this is Akeem Hunt, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Trubisky, and nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. They'll run with a 3rd-year man. This is Tariq Cohen. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. And when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
So that, a good kick. We haven't talked about it much, but the wind is prevalent, and he drove that right into the wind.
Yeah, and don't forget the wind can swirl down there, too, so being able to read it, how it's coming, left to right to left, and to be able to execute that kick, that's pretty darn strong right there.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game, distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Watch the safety. Hey, wahoo!
Now it's Stafford. Caught by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
58, right over there, right over there.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Blue 60! 32!
Is complete to Jones. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have taken the lead. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. And after the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. And an alley to run. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
On 2nd and 9, Trubisky. A dump off for Davis. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Check 52. Alert, alert. Alert, alert. Stop.
A first carry now for Alex Collins. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Check, check.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Rashawn Melvin brought him down. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. At the Lions' 28-yard line.
Alert, alert. Alert, alert. Hey, Charlie. Check back 40. Check back 40. Push him back. Push him back.
This time, Trubisky will throw. Looking for the end zone. And that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and through, and we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Akeem Hicks able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Operating from the gun, Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd able to record his 5th sack of the season.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied at top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the...
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Devon Kennard. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. Check 31, check 31. 18. Switch gears.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hey. Check 59. Mike is taking easy. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Stafford on 3rd down. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determine that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
I'm not so crazy about where they decided to run that play, but I like the play itself because if you continue to run it and show it, you're going to create openings that you hope to exploit later in the game.
Now Trubisky to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. From the gun, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Stafford now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks able to record his 5th sack of the season. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. This looks like a free play for Stafford. Jones has it, and he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Running from the gun, Johnson. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He connected on his first, this from 41. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On third down, Trubisky. Looking deep for Gabriel. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Tighten up. Hey, 18. Check safety.
Now it's Trubisky. Forced out to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 10.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Second and goal from the 1.
Lock in, lock in. Watch his flat. Lock in, lock in. Move, move, move.
49, check 49, check 49.
Switch.
Again, it's Cohen. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
Boom. Bus stop.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Next to score, Bears 17, Lions 13.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A first down carry here for Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Roquan Smith, fresh off a solid rookie campaign, in on the tackle for Chicago.
Hey, 50. 5. 58. Come on.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
First down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. On 2nd and 12, Stafford complete to Jones. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Go, tackle. Let's go. We got it.
Omaha, ready, move.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is intercepted by the all-pro safety, Eddie Jackson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You gonna see me in your nightmare.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. First down, and they'll try to run the option left. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. He completes it to Nelson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. Trubisky now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. First down, a run with Cohen. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
At the 43-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Again, it's Davis. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Bears on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He finds Robinson. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. A Chicago first down, the former Jag, Allen Robinson, on the catch from Trubisky.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
18-yard line.
Quickly into the hands of Patterson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 20-yard line.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They go play action. Trubisky to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Yeah, that's caught for a Bear touchdown. It's the tight end, Trey Burton. Trey Burton, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as the Bears push further out in front. Point after, right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
Bears 24, Lions 13.
Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now Stafford. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. He completes it to Jones. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. The Lions on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 4. To the air again, Stafford. Hard throw, incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Bears are going to get the football back, and they're going to get it in great field position.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Play action. It's Trubisky. Lets it go for Nelson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the whip.
They'll toss to Davis. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt. Obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Kenny Golladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, boys, here we go.
Out of the gun, Stafford. This complete to Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
First down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
58, come on.
Throwing again at Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Stafford caught by Jones. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Stafford. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. It's caught. Jones. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. One last throw here for Stafford. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Bears, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Lions, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.